Well, we are about to continue the delicious recipes in the kitchen, and it's time for us to whip up a scrumptious dinner, and this recipe you do not want to miss out on.
Made with love by Clover.
I think we should make a little promise to ourselves. At least one night every month, there should be an Italian night in, and we are not talking about ordering any takeaways or any pizzas. We want to explore the bellissimo flavors Italian cuisine has to offer, like the Moorish creamy tomato risotto that we're about to show you. And if you're concerned about lactose intolerance, don't worry, Clover No Lac comes to your rescue. They are here to help you through, and of course, we still have Mikeli in studio with us to help us with this delicious recipe. Risotto is one of my favorite dishes, and I've never made it myself.
So I think if you've read through any like cookbook or anything, they always talk about, you know, you got to know what you're doing when you decide to make a risotto, especially if you're doing it for somebody. So maybe with Valentine's Day.
That could be a good
recipe. Teaching experience, you know?
A good teaching experience.
Because there are intricacies to risotto, but I think once you've made it once and you understand the process, it's actually, I mean, it's rice and a few flavorings, so it's such an easy dish.
You're making it sound very, very easy. So you can get started on getting the flavor profile building. But I find that risotto, surely there should be a cheat way to make the risotto.
So, I mean, if you look into, so let's just get this thing going. A lot of recipe books, I know Jamie Oliver actually patented like a cheats recipe and a way to make it easier, where you don't have to do all the stirring and you don't have to do the slow tempering process. But I think making it authentically, especially like it adds to the process, and the process of stirring, I feel when you kind of fall in love with the food while you're cooking it, it just tastes so much better.
I think it will also come through.
Yeah, absolutely. So with risotto, the most important thing is you got to have your stock ready. You can make your own stock, you can buy stock. Nice to keep it warm in a pot next to your actual process on the oven, but if you've got it in a jar like this, it's so easy to decant. So that's the first thing. We have a special rice. It's a very short grain rice, high gluten content, and that's what gives rice that the risotto, like that beautiful sticky consistency. You really can't make risotto with anything other than your short grain rice. Cool. So with your pan on medium heat, a little bit of olive oil goes into the pan. All right, and we're just going to start the process. We're going to start browning the onion. It's just one white onion, nice and finely diced. Cool. So while that happens, you obviously want to take this as far as you need to. The longer you cook it, the sweeter it becomes, and it really gives your risotto a depth of flavor. So that's important.
Now, I'm thinking, you come from an Italian background. How often do you have, you know, the Italian cuisine in your household?
So quite often. I mean, I think when you grow up in an Italian family, you fall so in love with Italian cuisine. And I have such vivid memories of my Italian nonna. Like every Christmas, you'd find her slaving away. And the risotto never changed.
Okay.
It was a saffron risotto that was no flavoring, just purely made exactly how her gran taught her. And these traditions moved on, and that's where I learned to make risotto.
Okay.
So yeah, every time I make it, and every time I make any Italian food, it's such a nostalgic thing, so quite regularly, actually.
Okay, well, listen, he is bringing this to your screens right now. And remember, we are using our Clover No Lac. So if you experience symptoms such as stomach cramps, some eczema, bloating, and nausea after consuming dairy, it may be that you are lactose intolerant. And with Clover No Lac, you can enjoy dairy again with these versatile lactose-free range. Clover No Lac is pre-treated with the enzyme lactase to break down lactose that makes it easier to digest, and it also is nutrient-rich. And tomatoes are also packed with antioxidants and are the tanginess of, you know, that they bring that flavor to any dish that you want. And of course, you've got the onions ready there. I believe now's the next step is?
So nice low heat. We found a perfect temperature. It's a medium, low, medium heat. Now we're going to add some flavor to our risotto. So just have a garlic clove that's finely diced. We have these beautiful tomatoes that we've just diced up. You really don't have to do too much to them. You can add that in there.
So some freshly chopped tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes brings a lot of flavor. It's a beautiful ingredient to work with. So you can add that in there as well. Cool, and then we're going to season it. Let's season that first. Salt and pepper always.
Always a winner.
Yeah. And fresh Italian herbs. This is just a combination of Italian herbs that's freeze-dried. Right, put that in there, and then the rice goes in. And what you want to do here, you're essentially deglazing. You're picking up all those flavors, making it stick to the rice. But at the same time, the dry rice and the oil in the pan you're kind of dry roasting.
Okay.
So you're marrying all these flavors together. You're dry roasting the rice a little bit, just for a minute or two. Essentially, you let it sort of marry all the flavors and just give it some time in the pan. And
I feel like the time they give us to make this recipe
not
is
enough.
not enough to show you how to make a proper risotto. But within 30 seconds,
Cool.
I mean, this is now the TV version of our delicious risotto that you're making. I know that the stock plays a big role.
It does, yeah. So always a little bit of sweetness. Once you've caramelized that, little teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, as with any recipe with tomatoes. And then what happens is you add, I would say, half a cup at a time. So half a cup goes in on your medium-high heat. That's a little bit too low. You bring that to a boil. You cook it down until the stock is gone. You do the same process over and over. And it really is how you feel, and you go to a consistency that you like, as cooked or as uncooked as you like. Right? And once you reach a point where you're really happy with it, beautiful Parmesan cheese are sort of creamy elements and the nice Nolac product. So you've got your risotto. You add 2 tablespoons of Nolac, half the cheese, add it up, and the nice Parmesan over the top.
And we are using the Clover Nolac lactose-free plain low-fat drink snack for our little bit of creamy elements. And if you want to get your hands on this delicious recipe, we have the recipe available for you on our website. That's expressoshow.com. Mikeli, this looks incredible. I can't wait for it to be absolutely finished, because this is going to be my breakfast.
You know, it's not a breakfast item, but I'm super excited to eat it as well.
Well, there we go. The recipe is available on our website, expressoshow.com.
Made with love by Clover.